Pollster Frank Luntz just gathered a group of concerned moms to ask their feelings about social media and artificial intelligence. It turns out they see danger. He started with the question, what one word comes to mind when you think of social media?
Influential.
Shannon.
Dangerous.
Amber.
I would say dangerous. That was
Janelle.
Cancer.
So, Janelle, you said cancer. Explain that.
It just sucks the life out of people. That's it.
And Frank Luntz joins us now to share more about what frightens these moms. Frank, great to see you. That was sobering to hear what they think about it. And what else was sobering, because I watched all the clips, was that they're worried about it. They think it's a cancer in their lives, but they don't seem to be able to do anything about social media and its influence on their kids. Is that right?
And that's one of the challenges. By the way, there's nothing that would get me to get up at 4:29 a.m. in London other than this.
Thank you.
I was listening to the segment that you had before, and guns and the violence of guns and the fear that our children have is so significant. But that's some children in some places. The scourge of social media and artificial intelligence is almost every child in almost every community, in almost every neighborhood and home. We know the damage it does physically. We know the damage it does mentally. Moms are telling us that their kids are staying awake at night, that they're not sleeping, they're not exercising, they're not going outside. They can't have communication with their own children, that their children don't know how to talk to their parents, that many nights they spend at the dinner table saying absolutely nothing, and yet nothing is happening. Allison, I don't understand why so many parents don't treat this the same way they would treat guns and narcotics and strangers and not let people into their homes. To me, the most amazing comment was from a mom who said, these are things I wouldn't let into my household, and yet my children bring them in every single day, and I don't know about it. And Washington does nothing.
Yeah.
This is not a Republican issue or a Democratic issue. You can be rich, you can be poor. We know the damage that social media is doing and AI will do, and yet Washington does nothing.
And these parents feel so powerless. Here is, you asked them, I believe, what their message would be to social media companies. So here's this moment.
That you are destroying the next generation for profit or maybe for more nefarious purposes. But they know what their technology does to children's brains. They have designed it to be addictive. It is an intentional play for them because eyeballs are dollars. And I mean, I can't, I don't know how to convince them that their dollars are not worth the cost. But as a human being living here, watching what's happening to the next generation, as a mother, it's not worth the cost to me. So it's not going to be in my house.
And then, Frank, I mean, so obviously that's frightening. And then they see on the horizon, coming down the pike, AI also, which we'll get to in a second. So tell us what their thoughts are on why social media companies aren't doing anything.
So they understand that their kids are addicted, but they can't remove their kids' addiction. They understand that it allows kids, and those are particularly the websites that show children an unreal existence. And so the kids come home and assume that everybody lives that life, that everyone has that clothing and those toys and those games and everything about it. And it is so frightening because moms this is the toughest job on the face of the earth. And the social media companies are taking a tough job and making it impossible. That moms tell us that they've lost control. And most importantly, they're telling the world that they're losing their children. Such a big deal, and we're not spending nearly enough time talking about it and doing something about it.
So we are about to have a conversation with a Google executive about the dangers of AI and trying to sound the alarm about what's ahead. And these moms that you spoke to know about it. They already sense the danger. Even if they can't put their finger on what exactly it's going to do, they're already sensing sort of the looming storm clouds coming. So here's that moment.
I am, because I think AI is making humans obsolete. I mean, they're smarter than the average human. They don't have emotions. They're taking away jobs from people. They're taking away that human contact.
It dehumanizes us as people. Is that's why it's artificial intelligence. You could make it do a lot of harm, and it's all artificial, and it doesn't have any concern for human feelings or human person. So that's a danger.
What did you think about that conversation, Frank?
I think it's actually less important, and I'll explain why. As adults, we have the responsibility to make decisions for ourselves, and there are some times when it's taken away from us. But it's still, we have the capability to know right from wrong. We have the capability to observe and to participate in our own lives. Children don't have that capability. I love Google. Google is one of my favorite companies on the face of the earth. I depend on it. And all I would say to the Google executives, what power are you giving to moms specifically so they can control what goes into the heads and the hearts of their own children? When you have moms in tears telling me that they have no way to shut off that device, that they take it away from the kid, they turn it off, and the kids become angry and temperamental, it's classic addiction. That you have to give parents better tools, more and better, so they have the ability to reestablish that mother-child relationship, to reestablish the brother-sister relationship, to reestablish the child with all of the world around them. Because let me be clear, if this is an addiction, this is dysfunctional, this is scrambling our kids' brains, and if you don't do something about it now, within the next 5 years, you're going to regret the hell out of it because it's going to be too late.
Frank, we really appreciate you getting up and being on at 4:30 in the morning, your time, to talk about all of this and the findings from that focus group. Really interesting stuff. Thank
Allison,
you.
thank you for doing this.
See you soon.